Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. This afternoon I'm off to see The View upstairs at the Soho Theatre. I've heard so much about this show and I'm very much looking forward to it. I'll also be covering the post-show Q&A with Terry Paddock from Stage Phase, which I can't wait for. It's going to be great. So without further ado, let's go to see The View upstairs at Soho Theatre. Woo!
And we've got a great audience here this afternoon, don't you think? Let me introduce you to who's who. You will recognize these three gentlemen. Andy Mientus.
That was very good.
Tyrone Huntley and Cedric Neal. And these two are the whole reason that we're here today. The producers of the show, Brian Zellinger.
You're so close.
So close,
Yeah.
so close. And Jack Maple. The true incident that this show is based on, the fire at the Upstairs Lounge in New Orleans. Not a single member of the audience had known about it before they booked to see The View upstairs. I wonder if I can do a similar poll for those of you on the stage with me. Did any of you know about it before you knew the show? And you did?
I did, only because I have good friends in New Orleans, and so when I was down there visiting, they sort of pointed it out to me and told me the story. And this was recent, and then this show came along like a few months later. It was really like spooky, actually.
Because the show, let's just also say that this show by Max Vernon, who wrote the book, the music, and the lyrics, has been seen in New York. Was it 2017 or 18? 2017. This is its European premiere production. So yes. And Cedric, had you known?
Yes, a friend of mine in Dallas, Texas, named Robert Camille, did a documentary called The Upstairs Inferno. It's worth checking out. It's beautiful, and it's about the Upstairs Lounge. So I was aware of it.
You know, if one person from an audience leaves, you think I should read up on that. I thought we've done our job.
Yeah. And see the documentary. How much research did you do into the incident?
Well, the materials were available to us. There's a great book about the event called Tinderbox that was in the room always, and so we were also looking at that. The brunt of our research that we did together was really images based. We all were tasked with bringing in a number of images of what we thought our characters looked like, but also images of the upstairs, images of New Orleans at the time, and images of Stonewall, in fact. Sort of,
Well, 4 years after 4 years after the Stonewall.
Correct, yeah, and so that's in the air, it's in the play. That's why when Wes mentions Stonewall, our 1973 characters all really react because that was the beginning of the revolution. It was so recent, and in a city where that was possible, and we didn't think it was coming here, and so that's a very dangerous word in our world. So we just plastered our space in these images.
Personally, my Willie is based on a 1973 choreographer named Jeffrey Holder, who's popular in the 80s for the Sprite commercial. But our director asked me one day in person, and said, "Cedric, how do you feel playing a 40-something-year-old gay man in the South in 1973?" And I said, "Sadly, the same as a 40-something-year-old gay man in the South in 2019. So the research was basically the images that Andy mentioned. Because if you Google the Upstairs Lounge, it takes you down this hole where you cannot believe that this happened to these people.
Just expand on that. What do you mean? What's the hole? Where does the hole go?
That image of it.
The images of the people, how they're so happy in the club. I don't know if you open the opening scene, we're all spirits, and my character has his hand over his head because there's a prominent picture of the upstairs, patrons of the Upstairs Lounge, where they're all in this one room and they're just so happy and so joyful. And then the next image on the Google search is the real Richard character, the preacher was the one who got caught in bars. So you see this horrific image of this man hanging out of the bars, trying to escape for his life. And then you see people who fell to the ground, and and their skin is coming off, and it's just you get caught up in it to know that I haven't made it through a show, and I can't speak for these guys. I haven't made it through a show without, and it's dangerous for an actor because I haven't made it through a show without remembering that these were 32-year-old people who were having the time of their lives and lost it just because they were same-sex. So the emotions that you see in theme song, the last song of the show, are real.
You say you get caught up in that emotion. Do you guys feel that on the stage? Do you ever feel that you might be overcome in that way?
Certainly, especially like that monologue at the end. All of the details that I'm mentioning, even though our characters are all composites of a few different people in the bar, because there were 32 lives lost and there's only a cast of 32 would be untenable. So Max has boiled it down to a few people. The events that I go through are all real things. That people fell to their death, that people ran out into the street on fire, that there were two bodies fused together. It's horrific. I mean, it's completely horrific. And we really began our process during Pride, and so those days especially when we are having to sit in this trauma and look at these images and inhabit these people at this moment of absolute terror while we're missing the party in the street, for me as a queer person was really heavy. It was a really heavy thing.
And just the fact that these people were in a safe space. It was the only place that they could go to that they felt they could be themselves, and that they could escape from the degradation thing that they had every day from the outside world. And the fact that they were the happiest they could be in their lives, and it was at that moment their lives were taken away from them. And when theme song and the final song, it is quite emotional remembering that these were real people. You think about Orlando, the Pulse shooting, and these people were just having a good time and weren't hurting anyone, and someone takes it upon themselves to end their lives for whatever reason. But it's very sad.
Absolutely. Perry.
I'd like to ask a question about the script and also the writing. Obviously, there's a lot of incredibly moving music, but also lines within the show. Any of you, have you taken any away with you as that kind of resonate with you in everyday life at all?
Which lines in the show most resonate for you?
I had the same conversation.
There are some very funny lines. That's a great one. I also like, it's like I'm in a video for the village people, music video for the village people. But were you going to say a serious line as well, Cedric?
I just like the complete lyric of the theme song. It's basically saying that no matter the differences within our community, we're going to get through this shit together. And we do have an iron bond as a community that no hate can break apart. The lyric of theme song just gets, and not just because that's the song I sing in the show, but it's a testament to the queer community.
There's some lines I wrote down. Do you have some more?
I say to Wes at one point, you get to worry about whether or not you're special, which I think is like, it says so much about privilege, which is a huge conversation that we're all having right now, people recognizing various privileges they have and whatever roles they play in society. It boils it down to such a simple concept that I don't get to even think that way because I have to worry about where I'm sleeping and how I'm feeding myself. You get to actually, you have all that figured out, and thus you get to decide, am I talented, am I special or not? And that's privilege in a nutshell. I just love that. I think it's so clever.
Sorry, did you have one? There are some great ones out there that, in addition, the juxtaposition of having the character of Wes coming from 2019 and those differences. Yes, there are things that have changed for the good, that have shown progress, but so much that we've lost as well, and things that are coming around again as threats, but also as not just the queer community, but we as a society at large. I thought it really moved me, a lot of that stuff that you spoke about, including Patrick says at one point, that's not community, you know, you're talking about something, you say that's not community, that's commerce, which feels very true. Producers, any for you?
I was gonna so Cedric says the line, "Child, this ain't New York," and I think that it can be coming from America. You sometimes have to remember that it's a really, really big country, and that's kind of as true today. That what might be the norm and socially acceptable, and you wouldn't have to worry about stepping outside doing something in New York as a member of a marginalized community, is not the same as the American South or all those square states in the middle, where they have very different views, and some are many, many years behind. And I think that sometimes you have to remember that when a lot of people think of America, especially over here, you kind of think about both coasts, and that can be very progressive. The same people would say, how did Trump get elected? It wasn't both of those coasts, it was everything in between. So that's still kind of rings true to me.
Or with 70,000 people in Michigan.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Cedric, you also touched on earlier in our discussion, and I want to bring a serious point into it, that we do talk in the piece about what it's like to be queer under the current administration in the United States, and you said as well, as a gay man in the southern states, Brian touched on that. I would say as a gay man, a black man, or something. What?
I'm a gay black man. That's a target. Thank God I'm not in America right now, but I feel for my nephews and my nieces over there. I just went back to Dallas back in May, Texas, a red state. The Bible.
When we say red for non-Americans, that means Republican.
And I was literally scared. Most my British literally. I was literally scared for my life. I was so uncomfortable in my own home. So that's why it's dangerous for me being this character in this show, because it just not very much has changed. When the cop comes in and goes to put the handcuffs on the West character, in this production, the West character happens to be a young black man. So I see myself in 2019 USA. I see my Willie in 1973 to USA, and it's a whole lot. And this shit is, excuse my language, this shit is still happening to us. So that scene, it's heightened in that scene, particularly. One day we came off stage and Ty was like, "Is something wrong with your contact center? Because you were sure, your eyes are sure." But every time we get to that scene, I just can't imagine that. It's like, hey, it's the same. It's just the same, and that's sad, and it's scary, and it's depressing, and it's ridiculous, and it's disgusting. But that's the world we live in right now. We have to keep living.
Finish with a quick fire, less serious question. It's kind of serious, but this show is set in a great bar in the French Quarter of New Orleans. You are in the middle of Soho, great bars all around us. I'm wondering, where is the equivalent of upstairs lounge for you guys here when you finish a show? Or whether you're in the show or not, where do you want to go?
I personally go straight home.
You go straight
No socializing for me.
Okay, when you weren't in a show, would you go anywhere? Anywhere you go? No?
I'm very boring. I'm just complete opposite to us.
We during this run, we party at the bar almost. At least I party at the bar almost every night. But
Here's the theater?
yeah, but here in London, I like the Ivy.
The Ivy, very lesbian.
Yeah.
Andy, what have you discovered? You can tell us one in New York as well.
Oh, well, in New York, it's Club Cumming. If you ever are in the States, go to East Village. It's Alan Cumming's bar.
What?
Yes.
I didn't know you had a bar.
Yeah, it
People
used
are
to be
shouting
on Eastern Block, and it is the most, queer space. It is not a gay bar, it is a queer bar. It is come as you are, the weirder you are, everyone welcome, and it's dancing to oldies, and there's cabaret. You'll be there, and suddenly at 4 in the morning, there's some cabaret act gets up, and you see something you've never seen before, and it's incredible. Here, I've just been going out to Freedom, Heaven, XXL, which is closing sadly, so get that in while you still can. Last summer of that, Club Cumming up in New York.
Ryan, what about you?
Jack and I usually have a glass of wine at the Ivy while
poring over spreadsheets, so it's not overly exciting. Probably the Aggie.
Well, I will say there used to be the Green Carnation over on
Yeah.
Greek Street, is it Greek Street or one of those? And that was where I met my first graduate, my first moved to London at 18. And I remember it was like this, you went up a tiny flight of stairs, like this inside, but they pulled it down now about 2 years ago, but I remember that.
Yeah.
I've spent a number of nights. It used to be called Hospital Club, now it's called H Club. H Club. And I actually met Jean-Paul Gaultier in the elevator at H Club. That's a story for another day.
For Brian, Andy, Tyrone, Cedric, and Jack.
So I just got back from the Soho Theatre after seeing The View Upstairs, and I just want to say a huge congratulations to everybody involved. It was absolutely fantastic. It was moving, it was powerful, and it is something that everybody needs to see. It's so important, as I say on this channel a lot, that we are proud of who we are and also remember what people in the past have fought for so that we can live the life we can now. I was absolutely blown away by the cast. They were phenomenal, and I have a lump in my throat talking about it because it was just the most incredibly moving show that I've seen for a very, very long time. I'm getting emotional again. I feel so lucky that in this day and age we are able to go out and be ourselves, but in some places we still can't be ourselves. We can't be proud to be gay. We can't always go out there and be, you know, gay as they are in the show, and it's very, very hard and difficult to process in the show. It's emotional, it's moving, it's just so powerful. The cast are incredible, and from the post-show Q&A you can see how passionate they are about the show. But I just started bawling my eyes out halfway through the show, and towards the end I really started crying, and I couldn't stop crying. And bless the guy next to me, he handed me a tissue and I said thank you, and it was such a beautiful moment, and I couldn't actually get the guy's name, but I'm just so grateful. So thank you if you do see this video, if ever. I just need to tell you guys that you have to see the show. The View Upstairs is definitely one of my top musicals. I'm absolutely blown away, as you can probably tell. I can barely speak. I thought I would just give you a quick kind of rundown what the show is actually about by using this very, very useful synopsis so you have an idea of what it's about. So, on the 24th of June 1973, the final day of the Pride weekend celebrations, the Upstairs Lounge, a gay bar located in the French Quarter of New Orleans, Louisiana, was the victim of a catastrophic arson attack. 32 people died as a result of fire or smoke inhalation. Until the 2016 Pulse nightclub shooting on Orlando, where 49 people were killed, the Upstairs Lounge arson attack was the deadliest known attack on the LGBTQ+ community in US history. The View Upstairs is inspired by and pays tribute to many of the patrons who frequented the venue and those who lost their lives in the tragedy. A very, very deep and emotional show. There are so many, there's a list of fatalities in this program. I do advise you go away and research it, because honestly I was left just feeling quite empty inside, very upset by the situation. It was very, very, very emotional. And the cast were absolutely phenomenal. Declan Bennett, who played Dale, was amazing. Derek Hagan, who played the cop / realtor, he was great. They were all incredible. Victoria Hamilton Barrett, who I've previously seen in Murder Ballad and lots more, who played Inez, who was Freddie's mum in the show. So Gary Lee, who plays Freddie, is the drag queen at The View Upstairs. And Tyrone Huntley, who plays Wes. Oh my goodness, Tyrone's voice is just phenomenal. Basically, Tyrone kind of plays the influencer from the future who buys this space at New Orleans and realises how important the space is when he goes back in time. It's just like, it's a very harsh reality of what life was back then, and it still is like in certain places of the world. Carly Mercedes Dyer, who plays Henry, I have no words. She has the most phenomenal voice I have ever seen on stage. She blew me away. Wow. as a collective cast together, you had John Partridge as well, who's also been known for doing lots of shows before this. Of course, he most famously was in EastEnders as a gay character, and obviously his gay character in EastEnders was quite a shock to the system. It was a big story, huge story, so I loved his role in this. He played Buddy. Buddy is a man who is actually married to a wife, when actually he is gay, really. He likes men as well, but obviously in those times he couldn't be gay, because if he is gay then there is consequences. He was absolutely incredible. His voice from the very beginning, he has the opening number at a piano, one lie, and I got chills. From the moment that show started, I got chills, goosebumps all over me. It was just phenomenal. Then you have Andy Mientus, who you might also know from the famous series Gone, and he was also in Dolly Parton's Heartstrings on Netflix. He's also been in Smash, you probably know him from that. He is an incredible actor, and he played Patrick in this, who Tyrone Huntley's character falls for in the show. Now Tyrone is very much who plays Wes, plays a very kind of arrogant character at the beginning. He's very oblivious to how important this bar is to these people in 1973, and it's almost a reflection on society and how lucky we gay people are living in the 21st century to be able to go out there and walk the streets. In some places we still can't, and it's still very much a protest, it's still very real, but like, as Wes's character discovers, that it was a lot more difficult back then. It's just the most loving, heartfelt show with so much passion and importance inside of it. It's just, you know, oh my goodness, I do not have the words. Like, it's a must see. You have to see it. Cedric Neal as Willie, absolutely, like, oh, I have no words. Like, he said in the post-show Q&A, as you can see from this video, that he went home and didn't feel safe in his own hometown. That is the world we still live in, and it's shocking. It is so shocking and makes me angry, upset, and I know that people might, you know, I'm talking about it on this video. I'm privileged because I get to do that in my videos, but, you know, people aren't all lucky. We aren't all lucky, and it's very sad that some people have to live, you know, without being them true selves, and it just seems so unfair that this is the case. Joseph Prowse plays Richard, and he was amazing. To be honest with you, the whole cast were absolutely amazing. I'll give them each a shout out here. It was just, the music was amazing, the set was incredible, I really loved it. It set the atmosphere. Some people even got to sit on stage. It was 1 hour, it was about 1 hour and 40 all the way through, no interval, but honestly, it felt like I just didn't want it to end. It was absolutely incredible, and I lost track of the time. That's how good it was. Didn't even think about needing the toilet, didn't even think about other things, you know. I was completely invested in this show. It was absolutely phenomenal. Now, when I say this, you have to see it. There's only about 3 weeks left. I don't know when this video goes out, but it finishes at the end of August. But please, please, please do not miss View from Upstairs at the Soho Theatre. I said a lot, but I want to say a huge congratulations as well to the creative team, because each of them were absolutely amazing. Max Vernon, who wrote the book, music and lyrics, congratulations. Jonathan O'Boyle, who was the director, choreographer Fabian Aloise, sorry if I get these wrongs, musical director Bob Broad, set and costume designer Lou Newby. They're all there, but honestly, it's because of all of you that this show has happened. You have supported it, you have created it, you have made it happen. Huge congratulations to everybody involved. I was absolutely blown away, as you can probably tell from this video. I'm going to stop talking now, and I just want to say, go and book your tickets. I'm going to link it below so you can go and check that out. Sorry for the lack of description. Hopefully you kind of got an idea from it, from watching the post-show Q&A and also my experience with the show. But I'm very emotional, so thank you for watching, and I will see you all. I'm going to go and reflect now. I really am. I'm going to go and think about life and how lucky I am, because I am very lucky and very blessed, and some people aren't. So let's do more to support our LGBTQ+ community and everybody out there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye!